Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2. The proud owner of at least one barracks, directly outside of his opponent's base. I give you the People's Terran, treating this like a Diamond League ladder game as opposed to one of the highest profile tournaments of the year. It's Cure. And let's saunter on over to his opponent. Several steps away, or one quick Reaper jump, I give you the tech-oriented Protoss. It's classic. And if you like a classic cheese in a Terran versus Protoss match that some Dutch casters have described as the game of the year, I'm a bit skeptical, but it'd be awesome if you could like and subscribe. And Jimmy, what are we at? 1,126. Oh my. Likes. And I'll cast another series. And I'll probably do it anyways. And hopefully you've had a good day so far. Hopefully it's about to get a little bit better because things are starting off early. Classic has scouted the severe lack of barracks at home, though I'm not entirely sure. He jumped out of the barracks up the cliff. So this is about as close as you could get without being literally in the base. The Zealot comes out. The probes are already under attack. Reaper racks up 1 kill. So far, nothing critical. It's going to continue adding up. The engineering bay means that Classic not going to be able to counteract this with a huge economy. Has to jump past the barracks over to the side here. So that's how we're kicking things off. All right. And Sir, are you aware that you have a bear? Yes, I'm very aware. All right, stop right there, criminal scum. You're not allowed to be here anymore. The Stalker gonna zone out the Reapers, but there's not much Classic can do. It's not like he's gonna kill the barracks lord there. If Cure chooses, he can float it around for quite a while. But the Reapers are obviously more of a threat than the barracks hanging over his head. The Reapers somehow get in and may kill a few more probes. There's no tech on the way to scout, though. Pops another one. Looking for more. Cure ends up grand total 5 kills. So with the engineering bay block, oh my god. All right, well, Classic looking to strike back. He has no Twilight Council. He's got no Stargate. It is a straight up 3-gate, I believe we're going to end up at. But the Widow Mines are going to be uncontested. There's nothing that he can do to really deal with them. Maybe an Adept Shade trick, but I doubt Cure's going to let that happen. So either he walks up the ramp and eats a couple Widow Mines directly to the face, or he's denied entirely. Cure, the Widowmancer. Okay, he's gonna accidentally scout the proxy here, like, oh, he just turns around in a slight panic and then pretends like he took it all in stride by gliding across the map. I'm not sure if Classic saw the medevac at all. I think he did, but can he do anything about it? That's the larger question here. Kinda just zoning out. A single Widow Mine, a potentially deadly number. Likely will kill at least 1 probe, but we'll see past that. Yeah. Medevac boosted into the mineral line. The probes mosey on out. Alright, we'll sacrifice. I mean, the amount of mining time lost. There's nothing to the probe. Yeah, he burrows it. Gets the shot. Wants to save it. A bit of a mess here, but he gets the mine out of there. Single Stalker. So Cure is still on 1 base. Which... Classic doesn't have an overwhelming probe count. We're sitting on 34 versus 33 probes, but he does have access to the second base, and that is going to, well, while the mines aren't busy, or the probes aren't busy running away from the Widow Mines, should have a little more economy there. It's okay, I know, don't worry, they'll be back. The probe citizens, stop right there! Finally. Yeah, not falling for it this time. The probes band together to kill the Widow Mines. Yes, it was damaged from earlier, but has to feel good. Here, gonna try to expand now, but the tanks Oh, one tank. The second one not plays down. Classic actually just going for it. Getting vision to the high ground with the shades. And it's doing pretty well. The tank doing a whole lot of damage though. And it's a bloody game out here. Well, I don't know if Protoss bleed, but if they do. Well. So. The units lost tab doesn't really tell the story. The fact that both players have struggled to expand in the first 6 minutes, which is when you usually have maybe going on a 4th base, really. Classic is getting his 3rd now as he pushed Cure's aggressions away. He's continuing to zone Cure out of his natural. But that, well, Cure lost enough that now he's kind of just bottled up in his main, hanging out there. It's a bit uncomfortable. He's got 41 SCVs, which is far more than you can really make use of on a single base. We'll finally be able to get down to the natural for now. Charge is halfway done. A whole bunch of zealots warped in. That proxy pylon and gateway are still there. All right, they're still very much available to Classic. He's making use of them. Another mine drop. The probe sacrificed. Oh, well, he's just gonna look at them angrily. Classic move. Well, actually, the classic move is the probes right now. It's a Cure move. Oh, another probe. But here come the zealots. Charge isn't done, though. This might be jumping the gun just a bit. Yeah, Classic feels like that Whittle Mine kind of just prompted an attack, and now he's going to lose a whole bunch. He lost all his zealots just before charge, and now he's going to lose some of his stalkers as well. Is there even an engineering bay for Cure? There is, but no +1. We are just struggling to get to any sort of tech in this game. It is one of the most intermittent and convoluted early games I've seen in quite a while. Has Cure not even starting any upgrades yet, besides his basic infantry ones. Classic wandering in just before the charge finishes. Widow Mines, a constant existential threat on the other side of the map. He keeps retargeting. Oh my god, it's scampering away. It's definitely a scamperer. The Widow Mine. It invested a lot of its skill points in the scamper. Some might argue Widow Mines have no skill points, to which I say, touche. Concussive shells. Finishing up. We're just gonna keep throwing unit. Classic looks... that's just too much bio, though. Classic, it's not gonna work out. That's not... Even with +1. Unless Cure gets intimidated by this army, which he shouldn't be. He could just fight it. Even with the +1 on the charge lines. He's playing it careful. Comes around the corner. Classic bleeding out a few units. Warping in 8 more charge slots at the proxy pylon. Another mine drop. Oh my. Oh my. Alright, here we go again. Oh no, he's not looking. Oh, it's a disaster. Yeah, look away. It was 7 probes. Sorry, the observer didn't even want to watch it. I'm not talking about the Protoss one. I'm talking about the in-game spectator. Didn't even want to watch that massacre. Another mine. Well, that formerly mine drop lost its payload a while ago. The mine drops continue cutting into it. Cure. He knows. Cure, the best Widow Mine user in the world. What does that make him? Relatable. Alright. He knows that where, why do many micro when few micro do trick? A bit of Minecraft gameplay has severely hampered Classic's ability to really put together a meaningful attack. He's now, like, Classic's default move is to tech up essentially directly from the start of the game until he gets an endgame unit composition. But Cure has done so much to slow him down that Classic kind of got stuck in like a low-tech loop where he couldn't help but just do not even charge. He attacked with the non-charge lots. That's like, I don't know, try to walk at him with traffic cones. Like, watch out if we're gonna get there if you get anywhere close. And then Cure just stims away. At least with the charge lots, you have a chance to do some damage, but Well, here comes Kier. That's just a whole bunch of gateway units. 17 Stalkers, 16 Charge Lots. Near equal amount of Marine Marauder. There is the anti-armor missile potential. Somehow hits almost nothing. And now without the Raven, there's still a lot of Charge Lots coming in. Shield Battery Overcharge, keeping things together. Classic boldly blinks forward. Some more Widow Mines will burrow. It actually hits some of the Terran army. Almost no Marines survive here. The Stalkers try to fight, but the Marauders will be healed up. And Kier maintains a massive supply lead, especially when it comes to the army. It is 1-1 versus just the +1 attack. The Warp Prism definitely not on a select all army hotkey. For realsies, right, Classic? Anyways, more Marauders being eviscerated. Widow Mines dragged into the Terran army. A Colossus joins the fray. And now Ghetto blinking back some of those Zealots. Warps in. There's almost no Marines left. Kier has not been able to maintain the Marine count. We're battling our way back. Marauders spreading, but the Charge Lots are starting to slice through and whittle down the Bio army. Already Vikings and Ghosts in production for Kier as he maintains a comfortable state. It's been a hop, skips, and jumps to get to this point. But Kier still has the momentum. He has the army. And if he can continue to keep Classic busy before he gets a critical mass of RoboBay units, well, then Kier's been someone who struggles to close it out against Protoss. He can get the damage done, he can kill the momentum, but as you can already see, Classic is not giving up too much ground despite having a seemingly inferior army. The medevac and the Warp Prism just... Alright, didn't see nothing. It must have been the wind. Ooh. Pass right through each other. Of course it's a Mine Drop. Does he have an armory done? Ah, yes. Mine Drop Premium Edition. Now, 3 times as annoying to deal with. Alright. Warp Prism comes in, dropping out Charge Lots, which are a little... Somehow gets a Siege Tank. The Mines will be dealt with over here. The main Terran army trying to go for the Nexus. EMP lands across a group of the Gateway units, but the Colossi will eventually angrily burn their way through if Kier ever stops stimming. So he will run away. Another army is kind of meandering its way over to the right flank. He's got some Vikings. He's got some Widow Mines. And he also has other units, which are way too hard to use. The Bio armies looking to collapse on what Classic has, but Kier keeps finding himself with about 2/3 as much as he needs to actually engage. Classic is just swinging his armies around and batting away Kier so far. But another Bio force takes out the Nexus to the north. And these Widow Mines have yet to be dealt with. Oh god, Disruptors. I mean, they will kill the mines. He does have observers. Always dangerous to have Disruptors with Charge Lots. Bit of a fire and water situation where the water puts out the fire. The Charge Lots die to the Disruptors. It wasn't a very complicated analogy. That Widow Mine. Oh my god, he keeps retargeting it. Oh my god. And it just never fires. Kier over here microing his mines harder than his Marines, which is Kier in a nutshell. Oh my. He actually using Widow Mine micro, which is almost counterintuitive, but here we are. Retargeting. Lands a hit. Disruptor, also dangerous. The Disruptors helping to zone out, but there's nothing that really forces Kier to engage into them when he could simply avoid them. He picks up a massive Doom Drop and flies directly past an observer. But Classic somehow either didn't have units ready to warp. Oh my god, it's not gonna matter. Just because he knows doesn't mean he can stop it. 50 supply of Terran in the main. EMPs as well. The Robo itself. The Forge. The Dark Shrine. You know, just essentially the entire Protoss infrastructure. He's killing some of the Zealots as they make their way in. Well, the Colossi are doing enough. He knocks a couple of the medevacs out. I've seen this before. Cure getting 30 supply, trapped in medevacs, pinned back in the corner of the map. You can't recall Terran units, much to their dismay. An EMP on the Nexus prevents a recall. The Classics army is down to the south, going to fight in with a valuable chunk of Terran here. Unfortunately, the Widowmines do manage to burrow, but end up hitting just as much of the Terrans. Kier still has that army supply in the corner, but he's going to lose his third. Another disruptor shot gets dangerously close to looking like it'll hit. More EMPs. Kier drops into the back. The Vikings knocking down the Colossi. The medevacs helping the bio withstand everything else. And just dealing with it. The bio army at the back of the base. Classic still grinding his way through Cure's natural. He's got a whole bunch of disruptors here. A missile turret threatening a Colossus. Oh no, the Zealots on the low ground get gunned down by the forces in the main. The missile turret ends up taking out half the Colossus HP. Where is that recall to? The third base coming back to defend. More probes on the run, evacuated from who knows where at this point. And Cure's, I don't know how many of these units were in the drop and how many of it matters. He had a force that attacked into Classic's third. Down goes another medevac. Cure able to get away for now. Widowmine still dotting the field. And as the smoke clears and we tally up the losses, it looks like Classic... I want to say Classic gets the slightly better end of it. Because he has more workers, better upgrades, and he maintained 2 mining bases. But of course, Cure's bases can fly, so we could easily equal that number if he's puts in the effort. How many? He lost a Dark Shrine and a Robo. How many Robos left? Still 2. I don't know how many were just rebuilt. More Widowmines. But the Ghost dives first. Does get an EMP on the surviving DTs. The Dark Shrine is gone. So that basic defense. How many orbitals for Cure? He's only got 3 in a planetary. So he doesn't have enough for, like, infinite scan or mules wherever he finds a command center. There are 5 observers, but so far, just because he sees these drops doesn't mean he's been able to stop them. Cure just keeps trying to be sneaky with his medevacs, but... oh my god. That disruptor... yeah, and don't come back. That disruptor sends a strong message to the bio units that maybe observers exist. But if Cure doesn't get punished from, does it really matter? Like these doom drops? I guess you could say the base trade punished him a bit, but overall Cure still has a workable army. Classic unable to really kill the critical production or cut off enough of the economy that he can just walk across and close it out. A scan? I think he scanned the observer and still didn't kill it. Oh, he saw a ghost, but don't talk to me or my friends ever again. Those Zealots chase down. A lot of them gonna die here. And the armies will meet on the field yet again. A scrappy game if I've ever seen one. Very fitting for these two players. We've got Cure just kind of flailing his units around. Classic building as high-tech an army as he can, despite the dire circumstances. Building like 2 disruptors. There are no liberators. Okay, I think he bought 3 observers here. Watch out, the disruptor kills a DT and a few bio units. Another disruptor shot. He knocks out 2 of his own. You gotta be real careful with those things. And it blows up the rest of the bio army. But wait, there's more on the other side of the map. The Nexus was EMP'd, so no recall. And he takes it out. Classic, again, losing track of the bio army. And will lose his bases. Though maybe he thinks he can base trade a Terran. But ancient wisdom says that's a bad idea. Mass disruptor here. There is a planetary still. Probes on the run from 1 heroic Marine. Oh no. Well, that's a bit disastrous. Disruptor volley. He dodges into the planetary. I mean, okay, alright, this is a mess. He's losing, might lose the Colossus here, some Vikings, a fadeaway shot, clips a Marine, But Classic's army supply, he recalls out just enough to strand the rest of the army on its own with no chance of victory. The force fields almost do something. Classic with a bit of a questionable recall. He does get a bunch of the observers out. The supply, once again, we base trade, and the supplies dip heavily. Cure has 4 SCVs. But how many mules? None at the moment. He's down to 1 orbital. How is this? Cure! What is going on here? Actually, this is a lot worse for Cure than I thought. As he's down to 4, he has a third of what this. He started. This is Brood War numbers. Classic still has 37 probes. He's building disruptors, which is, if 9 disruptors aren't enough, I don't know how many more will be. The disruptors are thrown out there. Does get some good hits. Yeah, well, cure splits are acceptable. The bio army itself, yeah, with no more oh no, they're all on cooldown. No, it's a bit disastrous here. I mean, he needs to land a hit. He's still, like... He's got 6 disruptors. So that's 18 of his 54 army supply. Cure's bio army, without an overwhelming amount of gateway units, the bio army will win, especially considering EMP. And now Classic... Oh no, the pro will be slaughtered. Somehow, like, just stim, bro. He does. He waits until the probes are starting to get away. He's like, okay, I guess I'll stim. Here we go again. Round and round we go. As we're going into what seems... Remember, I guess we have to bring up at this point, in order to win a game of StarCraft 2, technically you must kill all of your opponent's buildings. Now this is uniquely difficult against Terran players because their buildings can fly. A Widow Mine actually puts a hit onto a disruptor here. I think the units tab is a little more relevant than the production tab at this late stage. Now Classic has 4 probes and Cure has 4 SCVs. This is a mess. This is a disaster piece. A series of unfortunate events has led... It feels like Classic just... He hasn't wanted to engage the army head-on. Yet, Cure also has failed to maintain enough army supply to chase down Classic. But the disruptors don't kill buildings. That's one thing. And also, they are not guaranteed damage. All Cure has to do, like, there's not enough army to force Cure to fight. Like, he can't chase him down with just the Stalkers and Zealots. So the Disruptors are mostly dead weight and potentially dangerous at this point. As they just simply... Cure will just never, ever fight where the Disruptors are in range. Oh my god, I can't believe he's at 4 probes. This is ridiculous. And now, that's a total disaster, because now he can't build it. He's so broke. What has happened? Well, okay, so this game now comes down to disruptor hits. And you can't kill flying buildings with disruptor hits, but that might not be... It's unlikely Classic will ever again own another Nexus. He may run out of Nexus. He gets 1 Marine. Cure does have a mule mining, so he's got infinitely more income now. Well, not infinitely, but pretty close. Trying to do a disruptor. Are there any Vikings? No Vikings. There's still 5 medevacs. Oh my. Well, he gets the Marine. How many observers? 3 observers. I don't know, Kev. EMPs and absorber. He warps in a sentry. Gonna try to force the issue here. Fires the Vector shots. 1, 2, 3. Gets the ghost. Trying to trade. Decent. Okay. Sacrificing Marauder. Saves the Ruptors. Juggles them back. But Cure, they're all on cooldown. Force field. Alright, the Disruptors are gonna come up in a second. That one. 2 Marauders. The Gateway Army just is not doing it for them. It's a little painful to watch. Cure, I mean, if one of these hits, then suddenly Classic has the army supply to win the game. But even Cure realizes that he never technically has to be within easy disruptor range. Like... There goes the sentry. Cure is hunting Classic down. I'm not sure where the light at the end of the tunnel is here. Well, if Cure was in a tunnel, and it was a very short tunnel, and the light was a disruptor off cooldown, and there was a force field in between the Marauders and said disruptor, so that way the Marauders were slightly out of range and couldn't kill the disruptor, then, and the disruptor was able to fire and hit them, then that would be the light at the end of the tunnel. But unfortunately, Ancient Cistern is about as far as you get from an enclosed tunnel as you possibly can be when it comes to maps. So, please don't copy strike me. Well, that's how I feel, though. Like, we kind of got a crazy game, but the Disruptors are just not the ideal base trade unit. What is? Well, not disrupt Stalkers. Not bad for trading long term. It's a series of incredibly unfortunate events here for Classic. But at some point, Cure will realize he probably doesn't realize how few workers that Classic had. I doubt he realized he'd brought him down to 4. Oh my god. Well, here we go. The Marauders and Marines will angrily come back. He fires off a shot. I don't know what you expected. Fires another one. Oh. No. That's all right. We just so Classic. I believe this is an elimination match, is why. Like, if you still have 2 disruptors, well, Cure survives. Classic unable to pin him down, and that means Cure will be your victor. I don't know what I expected. I knew this was a base trade sort of style match. But, oh, never base trade a Terran. The never has an asterisk, but that asterisk is the exception, not the rule. You want to fight the army and kill the army, otherwise they're going to run you around in circles till you get dizzy and hurt yourself in your own disruptor fire. Cure takes this one. He survives this merry-go-round of disaster. And hopefully you did as well. Thank you for watching. Make sure to leave your strong feelings I'm expecting in the comments. And if you got the means and motivation, make sure to check out Patreon, YouTube membership, second channel, all that boring stuff. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. I'll see you next time. I'll see you soon. I'll see you probably tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.